50 Cent was always anti-Diddy and called him a problem. He did a lot of foul crap behind the scenes. I didn't attend those parties either. Yeah? I hope he played with your booty in Miami. When Diddy watched 50 Cent enter the courtroom, his face told it all. Eyes wide, teeth tensed, hands shaking under the table. This wasn't the cool and collected music mogul of the decades. On day 3 of the trial, witnesses said Diddy lost his composure when 50 Cent openly supported Cassie. This case could have altered after what transpired in court startled everyone. 5th, does regularly calling Puff homosexual impact your Hollywood relationships? I don't call him gay. I requested reading. Let me read 5th. Unfortunately, I cannot assist you. All of you will be homosexual and happy soon. All of you are now under Puffy Daddy. Find the nearest rainbow. Dinner Thieves opens in January. His uninformed statements are fruity. Know what I mean? We don't party like we should, he says after saying something great. He's discussing what? I get uncomfortable when people say that. At Chris Knighty's wedding, he said something to me that made me uncomfortable. He promised to shop with me. I glanced at him like, what did you say? Please let me move before I ruin the wedding. Nice gesture. Allow me to leave. Guys tell girls, no dude, take me. Was it done right? Yeah, you've discussed it extensively on social media. I'm the only one who told people about this beforehand. I didn't participate either. I skipped those parties too. Yeah. So much of celebrity culture is silent because they participate. A reason you never attended those parties back then? I'm not into flickery stuff. All of his stuff isn't my thing. Maybe I'm more simple or normal. Sean Diddy Combs controlled images to build his empire. For 30 years, we've seen him grin on red carpets, endure tough interviews, and stay calm during public crises. His standing? The unwavering music mogul. Remember that 2017 interview where a reporter questioned about ex-employee payoffs? Diddy smiled, straightened his suit jacket, and changed the topic without blinking. Or when his 2012 restaurant collapsed and he showed up to the closing night celebration like it was a plan. Never showing perspiration is typical of Diddy. His crew preserved this flawless image. Diddy employs 12 individuals to handle his public appearances, according to sources. From replies to facial expressions, Diddy's public persona was crafted. According to his former aide, Diddy would practice interview responses in the mirror for hours before TV appearances. He even hired a media trainer to create surprise scenarios to test his calmness under duress. But behind those fancy sunglasses, rage difficulties have been whispered about by former employees for years. Off the record, a former Bad Boy Records employee told me about 2 Diddys, the suave operator everyone saw on TV, and the guy who threw phones at walls when things went wrong. These stories failed because no one with power supported them. Just days before the trial, this pristine image began to crumble. Diddy snapped at a fan outside his lawyer's office who requested a photo. In that stressful pre-trial press conference, he grasped the podium so hard his knuckles turned white. Small errors, but for a man who spent millions on image control, they were telling. I learned how from PR crisis manager Tanya Rodriguez. Celebrities like Diddy develop egos like fortress walls, but under pressed, they break and collapse quickly. That happened on day 3. Multiple courtroom witnesses said the intricate Diddy mask fell apart. When evidence was presented, court reporter Marcus Jenkins saw Diddy shaking. Jenkins said his leg bounced so violently that the defense table moved. Diddy interrupted his counsel 3 times, getting louder until the judge intervened. Diddy's tantrum during evidence forced Judge Harmon to warn him that another outburst might result in contempt proceedings. His face was twisted with wrath, something the audience had never seen in 30 years of fame. Just when Diddy looked to be recovering, someone entered the courtroom and changed everything. Diddy never anticipated his longtime industry competitor to defend his accuser with an axe to grind and the resources to make things difficult. Diddy's face turned pale when 50 Cent entered the courtroom, witnesses allege. He's created a Netflix docu-series, it was stated. Very excited to watch this. Conversely, every person who has tried to speak out about this, the industry, the people controlling it, and the media's attacks on them has always been the same. People call them crazy. Orlando Brown, an actor, was attacked. I remember when he was on Disney and everyone said he was weird and deranged for saying ridiculous things, especially about Diddy. Listen, you must refuse Diddy. Any fresh booty in the building will be taken by him. Never take your girlfriend to a Diddy party. He won't shoot, but you can take them. For me, Diddy is the fall guy, The top names are still being protected, like with Jeffrey Epstein. Share the tale, share the tale. We discuss rumors. Searching his name yields rumors that he was Diddy's boy toy. Oh crap. Though that's not true, I told you what 50 will say when he meets you after he brought it up. I didn't know that was happening. Looking forward to seeing him again. What will you tell him? I assumed he played with your booty in Miami. You know what 50 will say when he sees you. My ears heard Diddy touch your butt. Wait until I see him. Wait until I see him. Puffy, what's up? You're not tuned in, but what is it? A guy was my last sighting. Yo, he pushed me into the truck. Really hurt. He resembles me. Yo, I said. I could do other things. Diddy and 50 Cent have fought for nearly 2 decades. Not only have they disliked each other, they have pursued each other since the early 2000s. 50 has criticized Diddy on the radio, in interviews, and on social media. Remember when 50 claimed Diddy knew about Biggie's murder? How about his years-long public criticism of Diddy's sexuality? Not just rap beef. This was personal. On day 3, 50 Cent entered the courtroom in a fitted black suit and distinctive sunglasses, freezing the room. Court reporter Janelle Martin said the stillness was so dense you could hear phones vibrating in pockets. Diddy began whispering to his attorney, but stopped mid-sentence. 3 witnesses saw his face shift from surprise to shock to panic when his head snapped up. No one anticipated 50 to arrive. His internet taunting of Diddy began after Cassie sued. 50 shared hotel security footage of Diddy reportedly abusing Cassie in 2016 last month, with the comment, "Money can't conceal who you are." More than 12 million people saw it. He followed up with Instagram postings claiming additional Diddy behavior receipts. Most people don't know that 50 communicated with Cassie's legal team for weeks. I was informed that the 50's team contacted them immediately after Cassie filed her case. My source said he believed her tale and wanted to help. 50 always played the long game against his foes. The courtroom vibe changed when 50 entered the back row. Like tennis fans, everyone looked back and forth between him and Diddy. In courtroom drawings, Diddy kept looking over his shoulder instead of reading his lawyer's notes. The bombshell followed. During lunch break, 50 faced a swarm of reporters. In addition to supporting Cassie, he declared that his G-Unity Foundation would finance her legal fees. "I'll fund survivors' voices," 50 told the reporters, "and help more women tell their tales about influential men in our profession. Right and wrong, not me and Diddy's history," he added. Witnesses said Diddy reacted violently to this news in court. He smashed his fist on the defense table, tipping the water glass. Diddy was shaking as his lawyer tried to calm him. Court security even approached the defense table. Diddy's timing couldn't have been worse, since just as this conflict peaked, the prosecution revealed they will present new evidence that Diddy had lied under oath. What appeared on courtroom screens next shocked everyone. That clothing is nice. Nice tee. All right. What did you say when he said the shopping line in real life? Oh, let me leave him, because he said, "Yo, you hot now? Let's hang out. You know, hang around. Maybe I'll take you shopping," he added. "You could offer me everything if I flashed." While gazing, I thought, I'll just leave him since I'll ruin the wedding. I keep telling myself that was someone's wedding. Chris Lighty's wedding. The show was in Miami. Nobody knows, but I stared at him like, hey. After 50 Cent's surprise presence, the courtroom was tense. The air crackled as everyone waited for what would happen next. The prosecution team looked arrogant and smug, like they were going to drop something major. Lead prosecutor, Your Honor, will offer evidence item 47B. The defense appeared confused. My source in the room said Diddy's lead attorney came up and said, "Your Honor, we haven't been given any 47B items in discovery." Everyone recognized something unexpected was happening. The judge called both legal teams to the bench. They talked for about 5 minutes while Diddy sat alone at the defense table, staring at 50 Cent in the back row. Diddy started cracking his knuckles one by one when things grew tight, the courtroom artist said. Diddy's lawyer seemed deflated when the attorneys returned to their tables. The judge addressed the jury. This evidence was found yesterday, thus the court will approve it. The prosecutor said they received April 2018 security footage from Diddy's Miami home. After the courtroom displays lit up, everything changed. It seems Diddy and Cassie were in a corridor. The video was silent but showed body language. Pointing and cursing, Diddy backed Cassie against a wall. The courtroom gasped at the next minute. Diddy brutally shook Cassie by the shoulders before pushing her to the ground in the footage. Diddy reacted instantly. He stood up so rapidly that his chair toppled back. He yelled, "That didn't happen," before his attorney forcibly restrained him. Diddy's face changed as the lawyer frantically whispered in his ear. His eyes were wide, his breathing heavy. A court officer approached the defense table. The footage and Diddy's oath the day before made it terrible. "I have never physically harmed Miss Ventura or any lady," he said. He emphasized that such behavior never happened, hence, there are no cameras or documentation. Diddy lost his cool when the prosecutor brought up these contradictions. He kept shaking his head, moaning, and even put his head on the table. The judge dismissed his attorney's request for a quick recess, stating, "We'll continue. Mr. Combs must stay calm." The bailiff told reporters he'd never seen a defendant's disposition alter that much in one court session. He stated it was like watching someone change in front of you. Once the court day finished, Hollywood was shaken by this startling evidence. Famous celebrities began texting about taking sides and questioning allegiance. As quickly as his courtroom composure, Diddy's carefully erected wall of silence collapsed. Nobody could have guessed how soon his renowned buddies would quit ship. "I feel like you've been the only one pointing this out for years. I look like the insane guy for a long time. Yeah, my ass hurts, and everyone's whining. You can't joke about it. No, bro, the internet may find you. People were pillaged, as you can see from these reports. I get what for that? I endured years of hatred. You're mean, want this and that. Just watching, I think, oh shoot, when I saw the latest litigation with Jay. I think about that, and that has to be there. I said he was missing, but he wasn't very active because of that. Is the Jay thing true? No way, no idea. I'm conflicted when you remember something 20 years later. Yeah, okay, just don't know. I say 10 to 20 years later, it returns. Ministers molesting little boys seems to cause all the problems. You mean what? The rules are the way they are because priests touch little boys. Before the trial, celebs supported Diddy. Famous pals attended his parties, collaborated on his music, and publicly defended him when suspicion spread. They surrounded him in protection. Diddy was powerful in Hollywood. Nobody wanted to risk their job by criticizing him. After day 3, footage of Diddy allegedly beating Cassie and his courtroom meltdown broke the hush. But 50 Cent's vocal support for Cassie allowed others to select sides. 50 for Cassie sparked a flood. Yesterday, an industry source told me people thought they could support her without initially speaking up. Indeed, that happened. Within hours of the 50's courthouse appearance, celebrities split into camps. The unfollows began instantly. Usher, who worked with Diddy on several singles, discreetly unfollowed him on Instagram. Mary J. Blige, once inseparable from Diddy, did the same. Justin Bieber, who looked up to Diddy, unfollowed him and removed their old images. They weren't random. The distance was computed. Social media battlefields grew ugly quickly. Celebrities posted cryptic messages that didn't name Diddy but were clear. Lizzo shared a contextless "Believe ladies." "Power doesn't equal truth" appeared on a dark screen over the weekend. After the courtroom footage broke, Drake, who avoids business turmoil, tweeted, "The truth always surfaces." Some were more forthright. "I've witnessed this type of conduct in the industry for years," Cardi B said on Instagram. "We should cease shielding money-hungry abusers." Though she never named Diddy, everyone understood who she meant. The most striking evidence of Diddy's decline? No one answers his calls. A member of Diddy's management team told me that numerous A-listers who accepted his calls instantly are now screening him. He called Rihanna 6 times after the courtroom confrontation. Neither has she, my source said. The business has heard similar allegations about Beyoncé and Jay-Z ignoring Diddy's team's urgent efforts to support statements. Cassie's support grows daily. Female Diddy collaborators are contacting her legal team to testify. Celebrities who rarely discuss law are supporting her. According to a Cassie friend, Lady Gaga sent flowers to her home with the message, "I believe you." This change was unfathomable a week ago. Criticizing Diddy might kill careers due to his industry dominance. The power balance has flipped totally. Daily, more celebrities abandon his sinking ship. The main detonation was ahead. After celebrities took sides and evidence mounted, Diddy's fragile demeanor collapsed in a courtroom outburst that surprised everyone, even the judge. I nearly thought it was him. I almost recognized it. Know what I mean? I said no. His words were heard, right? He says, "Yo, some things are ignored because they're fluff." They would gaze. He would express things and not be in the closet. He was in the hall. You don't wait because you see so much crap. Guys, this was visible, in the hallway. Watch the video. You watched that video. The release is later, not the closet, you say. He didn't care. You could tell he was. New Yorkers? No. He said, "Yo, Fab, we ain't party. Nah, we partying tonight," Fab said. No, he didn't party. Yo, they let that one go. I had to mention it afterward because it was free. Day 3's Cassie testimony brought the ultimate eruption. The courtroom was filled with media in the back, celebrities scattering, and 50 Cent still seated with his arms crossed. Diddy became anxious all morning. Court clerk Melissa Johnson noted he whispered to his attorneys louder each time. His leg jumped under the table. He kept loosening and tightening his tie. Typical indicators of a breakdown. Around 2:30 p.m., Cassie testified. She told the jury about a 2019 encounter with clarity and eye contact. Diddy threatened her career when she ended their relationship, she testified. He said he formed me and could destroy me simply, she said. Without finishing her sentence, Diddy shook his head. His attorney kept holding his arm to calm him. The judge observed. The judge wrote something on a notepad and gave it to Diddy's lawyer, according to court reporter Damon Williams, warning him about his client's behavior. Cassie broke down after describing Diddy's Hampton House party in 2018. She said he confined her in a bedroom for 2 days after witnessing her talking to another music producer. Diddy widened his eyes and stiffened his jaw as she talked. His forehead vein was evident from the gallery. The courtroom artist successfully depicted his wild, uncharacteristic wrath. Diddy stood up abruptly. His attorney grabbed his suit jacket to bring him down, but it was too late. He exclaimed, "That's all lies," pointing at Cassie. "You know your actions." The court froze. Even the court reporter paused typing. Diddy persisted as Cassie trembled but maintained her eyes ahead. He looked toward 50 Cent in the courtroom's back. "And you," he cried, furious, "you'll regret participating." Court security immediately approached Diddy. He had 2 officers between him and the witness stand. Someone stood behind his chair. Judge Harmon 3 slammed her gavel. She ordered Mr. Combs to behave in court. "One more outburst and I'll despise you. Please stay put, security." Diddy's main attorney jumped up to request a brief recess, but the judge stopped him. "Sit, consult. We'll continue." What they saw shocked the audience. Diddy, whose reputation was founded on calmness, lost control in public. A juror was seen writing extensively in her notebook after the incident. Bad news for the defense. Cassie remained calm on the stand. She drank water and testified as if the explosion never happened. Later, her attorney informed reporters that she was confident after receiving support from strong industry players like 50 Cent. Speaking of 50, he smiled and nodded slowly to Diddy's threat, as if to say, "I'm precisely where I want to be." Cassie wasn't done recounting her story when the power dynamic changed. Diddy's lawyers panicked as the court adjourned. His courtroom yelling destroyed their defense plan of portraying him as a calm, rational businessman who'd never mistreated anyone. Because the jury couldn't buy the perfect gentleman perspective, a legal insider said they spent all night revising their strategy. Playing victim is their new emergency plan. Diddy's attorneys requested a mistrial urgently this morning. The paper alleges that 50 Cent's appearance was meant to provoke our client and create a hostile situation. Even screenshots of 50's Diddy's social media posts were used to prove a planned courtroom influence campaign. The judge doesn't believe it. She refused the application within hours, saying Mr. Combs' behavior is his own. Diddy's team is rushing to find a fallback defense that accepts some of Cassie's assertions but disputes others. They now portray him as enthusiastic yet misunderstood, complete 180 from their previous strategy. Cassie's team brilliantly capitalizes on Diddy's meltdown. Her main counsel asked the judge to accept 3 new witnesses who declined to testify. Witnesses said they felt safer after watching Diddy lose his cool, now that his influence is eroding. These witnesses include a former security guard and 2 aides who witnessed Diddy's alleged actions, according to sources. 50 Cent also heats up. He's posted 7 times about the matter since the courtroom clash, each more pointed. His last picture displayed a split screen of Diddy in court with security footage, with the words, "Actions speak louder than attorneys." 6 hours brought almost 3 million likes. Many expect his forthcoming documentary series, Music Industry Secrets, to focus on Diddy. Cassie's shift may be most noticeable. Court witnesses noticed her change in mood when she testified after Diddy's outburst. Sitting straighter, she spoke more confidently. Her attorney confirmed the change. The client feels validated. Each tough day helps her find her voice. Legal experts say Diddy's courtroom demeanor hurt his case. Jurors base their conclusions on behavior they witnessed, said jury consultant Sarah Matthews. They watched him lose control. This will remain with them more than testimony. After the outburst, some jurors leaned away from Diddy, according to another expert. Diddy's business seems to be crumbling beyond the trial. His Revolt Media firm's shares fell 14% after the courtroom event. 3 major brands have quietly stopped relationships with his liquor companies. His entertainment agency reportedly reviewed his representation. Industry experts think he might lose $200 million in commercial negotiations, regardless of the decision. Power has shifted totally. Diddy, previously impenetrable, watches his business fall while Cassie gains momentum daily. With 50 Cent promising additional revelations, this case is about more than one relationship. It could reveal decades-old music industry secrets. The music industry power map changed radically. The defense table is where Diddy, who controlled his image and dominated the industry for decades, is seeing his empire fall. Cassie, previously hesitant to speak out, gains strength daily from unexpected allies like 50 Cent. Nobody foresaw this power shift. 50's smart move turned Diddy's easy win into a messy public reckoning. This case goes beyond Diddy. It's allowed others to speak up against powerful musicians who thought they were untouchable. The quiet breaks.